What up, everybody? This your boy OG the Hustler, and welcome to the platform, man. This is the show where we talk about sports, news, entertainment, maybe a little bit of politics, some music, and all type of stuff, man. You know, we represent for South Carolina, man. Shout out to all my South Carolinians, man. Everybody in the low country, you already know what it is, man. So I thank y'all for tuning in. I thank y'all for checking me out, man. I promise you won't be disappointed, man. So we're going to get right into it, man. Like I said, this is the platform, man. This is the voice for people who don't have a voice. I'm going to be doing a bunch of interviews with athletes, with rappers, entertainers, business owners, anybody that can come to the show, man, and just drop their jewels and bring whatever they bring to the world to y'all. I'll be interviewing them, but today y'all just got me on the platform, you know what I'm saying? And hey, shout out to everybody for 2026, man. You know, it's a new year. The show is back. I previously dropped for a little while. You know how it goes. You had to get everything together, man, and get everything in work. But we back, we here, and shout out to everybody who supported the last show, Real Reason, the podcast. But we recast it, and we're now the platform. And this for everybody who want to come and have a voice, who want to tell their story. I'm here to interview you. Tap in, send me a message, DM me, whatever you got to do on YouTube, however you see this, you know what I'm saying? Just reach out to me, OZ the Hustler, for sure. All right, we're going to get right into it as usual. First, we're going to start it off by talking about sports, man. Wow. Hey, shout out to Seattle. Shout out to Seattle. The Super Bowl champs, 2026 Super Bowl champs, man. They beat New England Patriots. The score was 29-13. And to be honest with you, that's a contradiction to how that game actually went, man. You know what I'm saying? Because New England ain't even scoring the first half, you know. So it was a beatdown. I mean, this is going to go down in the history books as a beatdown. Sam Darnold was awesome. I got to give it to him. I mean, throughout this whole playoffs, you know, 0 turnovers. The guy was solid. He did what he was supposed to do. Kenneth Walker III got MVP, 161 yards total, 29 yards receiving, I think 125 yards rushing. I got to give it to him. The dude was awesome. He ran the ball with power. You know, and he gave them what they needed at times. They needed it. The little spurts, the little 15 yards, the little 6 yards, he gave it to them. But my hat goes off to the defense. If I could give the MVP to anybody, it'd be the defense. I mean, to what they did to Drake, my bad, Drake. But what they did to Drake was incredible, man. He's a hard quarterback to stop. You know, he's very elusive. He can get loose. He can make plays happen. They wasn't having none of that. They was there every step of the way from the 4 that they rushed with to the secondary. They was there 10 steps ahead of them boys every time. So shout out to Seattle. Shout out to their whole organization. NFL Super Bowl champions, man. My hat goes off to y'all. All right, we're going to drift off from the NFL right quick, and we're going to get into the NBA. First, we're going to start talking about this All-Star game that they had. The new format and everything that they got, where they got 3 different teams. You got the Stripes, which is the young guns. You got the Stars, which is the old heads. And then you got World, which is the international players. I kind of like the format, the way they break it down. It was pretty dope. It was competitive. It was entertaining. The Stripes won it. The young guns won it. Anthony Edwards was the MVP. I got to give it to him. Dude was balling. He did his usual, the trash talking in your face from the dunks to even shooting the 3-ball. I mean, he improved his game a lot. I got to give it to him. So, I mean, if they stick with it versus the East and the West, I mean, I think a lot of people might start tuning in more because they was drifting off for a little while. Everybody was talking about ratings and saying that it was uncompetitive and players wasn't playing. This time they was putting their all into it. Even Kawhi went off, man. I'm talking about Kawhi. Kawhi Leonard, yeah, he went off. So if he balling and he being competitive, it had to have been something about that format that brought something out of the players, and I think it's a good format. I think they should stick with it. And then let's get into the NBA. I mean, you know, after the All-Star break, you're going to get right back into, I wouldn't say the second half, but the last part of the season, and everybody's going to start trying to make that playoff run. And currently right now, in the East, you got the Pistons leading, then you got the Celtics, then there's the Knicks, the Cavs, the Raptors, and the 76ers. And, you know, Pistons kind of stand off, and then other than that, those other teams are like right behind each other. Then it kind of drift off a little bit with the Rockets and 76ers. But all competitive in the East this year versus last year, where it was like, maybe about two teams that were just solid. Everybody kind of had, certain teams locked in, like Boston, and probably about it. That was it. Nobody was really solid in the East. And then you have the West. You got the Thunder at number 1, Spurs at number 2, Rockets at number 3, Nuggets, Lakers, and then the T-Wolves. And the West is very, very competitive as well. But the margin is kind of closer than it is in the East. I mean, these teams can switch up any given time due to their records, and that's falling from 1 all the way down to 7. So that is a big difference. So, I mean, we're going to see how these last games play out. We're going to see where certain teams fall in the playoffs, who matches up against who, and then you can kind of go from there. But it's just looking at the playoffs, looking at ahead, the matchups is going to be crazy is what I'm more concerned about. And then just looking at the regular season now, I'm looking at teams like the Pistons. I don't think nobody really thought they'd be number 1 in the East this year. I'm looking at teams like the Spurs, and I don't think nobody really thought they'd be number 2 in the West this year. And then you got Cleveland that just got James Harden, which was a big addition to their team. High expectations now, so that just shifts the whole narrative in the NBA about the East and the Cleveland Cavaliers and what they're able to do. So everybody's waiting to see that, and that's going to be entertaining. So I think the NBA is going to be all right. I think they're in a good space right now. And then it's just been so much talks about who's going to be the face of the NBA. I think Anthony Edwards knocking the door when he said it could be multiple faces of the league. I remember in the 90s, Jordan was that guy, but then you had Barkley with his own brain. You had Ewing with his own brain. So I think NBA should just stick to that. And that's been your sports rundown for your boy OZ. This is the platform. Make sure y'all tap in.